When you first start, they give you maybe about 3,000 to 5,000 reals just to help you settle in. And then I went with them. They were going to pay for like the children's school fees. They give you family ticket for when you go on holiday. So it's really, really a no-brainer. I know a lady that she's still there. She's single, but she's built in her home country a doctor's and nursing accommodation, 40 blocks of flats. So she said to me when she leaves Saudi, she would never be poor.
You know what I'm thinking of right now? I'm thinking that, God, when I was not married and did not have kids, why didn't I hear about all this? Because all I had to do is pack my bag and leave and go. I know now you are in the UK. Do you make more compared to when you were in Saudi based on everything? Stop that. So before I go ahead, let me give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, guys. I need to pay my bills, okay? When I come and sit here, I need to get something to pay my bills. So this video is proudly sponsored by TransferGo, guys. TransferGo. If you're looking for a reliable international money transfer app to send money from the UK or any EU country or Turkey to African countries like Ghana, Nigeria, etc., guys, I recommend TransferGo, guys. I recommend TransferGo. When you use TransferGo to send money to your loved ones or your family, guys, in at most 30 minutes, the person is going to get the money. TransferGo is regulated by the UK Financial Conduct Authority. This is not a scam. They are legit, guys. They are being used by over 4 million users worldwide. And when you check trustpilot.com, guys, they are rated the best financial app. And one of the amazing things is their customer support, guys. 24/7. If you need any assistance with your transfers, you can reach out to customer service and they are very prompt. They're going to respond to you. It's not like the others where it's very difficult to reach customer service, guys. This is very reliable. Whether you use an Android, whether you use an iOS, you can always download TransferGo and send money now, okay? One amazing thing that has now become my part-time job is referring people using my code that I generated from the TransferGo app. So when you have TransferGo, you can always refer a friend. When you check the app, there's a place where you can generate a link to refer a friend, okay? And when your friends use your link and within 6 months they send about £100 between two currencies, guys, you get unlimited £30 rewards. Unlimited. Guys, this £30 unlimited referral bonuses ends by the end of August. So hurry up now. Download the app, generate your own referral code and refer as many friends as possible and make some money, right? But first of all, make sure to use my referral link so that I make that money first because I told you, okay? So thank you so much, TransferGo, for sponsoring today's video. So my people, this face is not new. She's been on the channel before. If you watch my video on how to migrate to the UK, if you are an allied health professional, biomedical scientist, occupational therapist, I did it with this beautiful lady here called Grace. She's an allied health professional, currently practicing in the UK. Are you still in the UK? Because I know you move a lot. Because that day that I was interviewing you, you were in America. And everybody was wondering, why is she moving from America to the UK? And then I know you're originally from Nigeria. And now I'm getting to know that you worked in Saudi. So this woman is all over the place. Nigeria, UK, US, Saudi. Oh boy. And I can only boast of Ghana, UK. No, you need to travel.
You don't need to go anywhere, Nanelle. You're international. You're a global woman. So yes. You are.
I recently spoke about an opportunity for people to relocate to Saudi Arabia because the package seemed very, very, attractive. However, people are not really sure what it entails. So it's always good to get somebody that has actually worked in such an environment before. So Gracie is going to share her experience working in Saudi. So what took you there?
I would say adventure and faith. When I was 9 years old, I always used to read stories about Arabian Nights. And somehow I had this desire to go there. And by the grace of God, when I was in the UK, I had a friend that used to work there. So he told me about it and I was like, ooh, let me try. Yeah.
What was your role there?
So I went there as a physiotherapist, a senior physiotherapist. Yeah.
How long was you there for?
My contract was 2 years, but by the end of my contract, just as my contract was ending, was when COVID was about to hit. But being a very spiritual and prayerful person, I think like my spirit was just pushing me to go at that time when my contract ended. And like in my mind, I knew that I probably would go back there because it was very, very good. The experience was excellent and I made quite a lot of friends there. But I just had a very strong push not to renew my contract. And as soon as I left, like I left in December, COVID hit and they shut down all the borders.
Those 2 years, what was it really like?
Saudi is a really, really beautiful place. To be honest, it's an amazing place, and I think it's a good experience if people go and experience it for themselves. Because I think sometimes the media doesn't do enough justice to like a lot of countries, not even only Saudi. I remember before I went there, people would say to me, "Oh, you're not allowed to talk to a guy." And when I got there, in fact, because I didn't have a phone, my first day there, it was a guy that was working in the hospital. He was really kind. He gave me his phone to like call my family to let them know that I arrived safely. And I was waiting for the cops to come, but you know.
Yeah, because in the comment section of that video that I did about the Saudi Arabia package, people were saying that no, even if you're a female nurse, you're not allowed to insert a catheter in a male unless you open all the windows to make it look like a whole lot of things. So
Yeah.
is that really true? Are the rules very, very strict in Saudi?
No, the rules are not as strict as they say. Luckily for me, I worked in the capital, which is Riyadh, but I know they also have different like provinces. So maybe the more rural the province, the rules are a little bit strict. But in the capital city, there's like, you see the whole world there. Like everyone, it's like a melting pot, almost like London, very multicultural. Yeah. When it comes to treating male and female patients, definitely the male would prefer to be seen by males and the female would prefer to be seen by females. So they still have that cultural, but most people don't really care.
Yeah, and even that, I think it's good. It saves us from a lot of trouble. Do you know?
Yeah. Luckily for us, or for me, when I went there, that was when the country really, really opened up. They had Formula One car races. Women started driving, more women were flooding the workforces. There's a lot of sightseeing. We had like desert visits. You can visit the zoo, safari. Like, it's really, really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah.
And what is the cost of living like? Living there for 2 years, and I'm happy that you were in the capital. So if anything, it's going to be a bit more expensive than the other places. So what currency is used in Saudi?
They use Saudi riyals. Yeah, but the banks are quite good. So you can convert, or you can even, like, when you get paid, you can request for your money to be directly sent to your UK account or US account or Canada, wherever you're coming from.
How much were you earning in dollar equivalent?
So when I was there, I was making about 5,000, a little bit more dollars.
So you're making close to $5,000 per month.
Yeah. So
Wow.
The pay is it doesn't seem that much of a difference, but the thing that makes it difference is that in Saudi, when you go there, they give you like a bonus, like a signing in bonus, a relocation allowance. So I think when you first start, they give you maybe about 3,000 to 5,000 riyals just to help you settle in, and then another good thing about it is that they pay for like your ticket to go home once or twice a year, depending on how senior your post is. The other good thing as well is that when I was there, I was basically not paying any bills. Mind you, I was there with my children. So I was living in the hospital accommodation. You didn't have to pay rent, electric, water, internet, TV. All those bills that like bug us down.
You know what I'm thinking of right now? I'm thinking that, God, when I was not married and did not have kids, why didn't I hear about all this? Because all I had to do is pack my bag and leave and go.
Yeah. But you can go as a family. You know, there's thousands of Africans.
You don't know my husband. You don't know.
Trust me, when they put you in their Western quarters with swimming pools and cinemas and tennis courts, I think he'll change his mind.
You don't know him. He likes to be stable. He does not like
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, now when you're making a decision, you have to consider so many things. But prior to that, you could just pack your bags and go. And I wish I had gotten that experience, because it helps you also, you know, it opens your mind and all that.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, if you went as a family, for you, you're a nurse, and I don't know if your husband is in tech. I mean, like my children, I went with them. We had a family contract. They were going to pay for like the children's school fees, like all those things. They give you family ticket for when you go on holiday. So it's really, really a no-brainer in a way for people that are brave enough, or like I met a lot of people from the UK there, Canada, America, India, Philippines. I mean, so many people, and a lot of them within 1 year, they were able to save up to buy their houses. And some of them, that was their target. And they did that because all you really spend your money on is feeding and maybe just commuting. The thing is, a lot of people in Saudi have like a very posh, bling bling, VIP lifestyle. So if you're like someone that loves to go to the mall, oh my God, you would spend all your money because there's so many nice things.
How many hours is a shift like for nurses in Saudi or for health professionals in Saudi? Is it 12 hours? Is it 11 hours? Are you paid per hour, or is it like a fixed amount every month?
It's about 8 to 12 hours. So it's almost the same thing as we would work here. Sometimes they pay a lot of overtime. And especially during like the Ramadan season, when like the Muslims are fasting, they normally would do reduced hours. So they would get people like us or the international staff to cover extra shifts, but they will pay you more. Yeah. So it's
swear to God, I have learned a lot from this video. Honestly, sometimes you think that you've read everything and you know everything, but every time I interview someone, I learn something. I am so happy that you've clarified this. Wow. Guys, if you're listening, if you meet the requirements, I think you should give it a try, especially if you don't have a family. Even if you have a family, with what Grace is saying, I'm sure they have provision for you. So for those who did not have a contract like yours, how much were they going to pay for like rent?
So the only disadvantage in Saudi is that I think like if you're coming from Canada, America, the UK and Western countries, your pay is much, much higher. So people from like maybe India or the Philippines, let's say for me, I was a physio. They were paying me 18,000 at the time. For my counterparts that are from maybe India or Philippines, they were paying them like 7,000 or 5,000. So the payment is quite a huge gap. So most people, like the friend that introduced me there, he was from the Philippines. So the reason why he left was because of the pay gap. But if you already have UK experience and that's what you're presenting, that's what you're going to be bargaining with, because they value Western experience, Western education. Yeah, so that's the difference. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for clarifying that. So that if you're from that part of the world, you not go and then say that we lied in the video. Now you understand.
Yeah.
Was there racism?
I think racism is everywhere. Luckily for me, I worked in a really, really good team. A lot of my colleagues, they were like really, really open-minded, Westerner. A lot of them traveled out, so their minds were really open. But you do have like the one or two people that, you know, they get angry because they feel like you're Westerner. I think sometimes some of the people from UK and US, they get paid more than some of the indigenes. So that creates a little bit of annoyance. But if you sort of overlook those things, for the most part, my colleagues were very, very nice people, very kind. I never experienced racism while I was there.
And you, I know how much of a staunch Christian you are. Guys, yesterday I sent her a message at 3 a.m. and this wasn't 3 a.m. and this woman was awake praying. I said, I was expecting you to
expose my secret.
She was praying, yeah. So her enemies, you will.
Oh Lord.
Wow, that's really interesting. So for you, I know that probably you like to go to church, you know, in whatever country that you are. How is it like, you know, for the Muslims, I'm sure they don't have a problem, but for us, from other religions, what is it like?
I went to church when I was in Saudi. Yay! Yeah, I did. They have quite a lot of churches in Saudi. There's a diplomatic quarters where they have all the like US embassies or UK embassies. So they have a church there that they meet every Fridays, because in Saudi, like it's a Muslim country, their day of worship is Friday. So a lot of Christians tend to worship on that day because we don't work on that day. There's a lot of churches, but a lot of times they're undercover or in people's houses. So yeah, because they didn't really want you to like be in their faces. The authorities are aware that they have churches, but they don't want you to be throwing it in their face or to try and preach to them, to convert them. I've had patients that they come in and they're like, oh, we can tell there's an aura about you. Can you pray with us? And they're open to prayer. So it was very interesting for me. Like when I actually went to church, I was like, wow, I'm in Saudi and I'm in church. But in the news, they will tell you that, oh, they will kill you. There's a lot of
the freedom of worship. Do you have?
You can. Like, so a lot of my friends there were Philippines. they're Filipinos, and they really have like Bible study, regular Bible study, home cell groups. So a lot of times they would meet at home and pray together and share the word. And then maybe some of their work colleagues that were Muslims, as long as they're not forcing it down you or trying to convert them, if they're ill, they'll say, can I lay hands and pray to Jesus and he can heal you or help you? A lot of them are open to it, as long as you're not trying to say, oh, can you become a Christian or something like that? So
I guess the type of Christians that will not be happy there will be the Jehovah's Witnesses, because they like to spread their gospel and they like to get people to, be born again and all that, accept Christ and all that. And another thing that I'm sure you would like is they are a bit disciplined, compared to other countries like the US and other countries. So raising kids there, it's much safer. You're not afraid that your child is going to get into alcoholism or drug abuse or the other things that I don't want to mention, but you and I know that we are not so happy about in this part of the country.
Yeah.
So
it was an amazing experience for my children. My children went to school in Saudi. They really enjoyed it. I've never had like work-life balance like I've had in Saudi, because on Fridays, the day of worship, a lot of people stay home or they relax. You can actually have time to do things like people would go to the zoo, go to the safaris. There's so many things, family-friendly things, and the hospitals themselves, they provided like activities. So if you're really into those things, especially if you work for a very good hospital, yeah.
So for a dumb person like me who doesn't know much about other countries, can you tell us like other popular places in Saudi?
So Riyadh is obviously like the capital city. There's somewhere called Tabuk. There's also neighboring countries like when they give you your holiday, you can, if you don't want to go back to your home country, you can either cash the ticket that they give you and you can use the money to go somewhere. So when I had my holiday, I didn't want to go home to the States. So I went to Abu Dhabi, which is like not too far. And it was very, very beautiful, like really, really nice, very peaceful, very family friendly. Riyadh, that's another place that a lot of Westerners go to just relax for the weekend, be in the beach and the seaside. So there's so many things. Obviously, Qatar, Dubai, they're very close. So a lot of the Westerners, they get to travel a lot. Turkey is not far away.
Now I see the picture.
Yeah.
What will be your final words to somebody who's contemplating on leaving the UK? I know now you are in the UK. Do you make more in the UK as a physiotherapist compared to when you were in Saudi, based on everything?
No, I think if I had an opportunity, I would love to go back to Saudi, to be honest. And I think it's a really good experience for people. Like if you haven't been before, you obviously don't know what to expect. I've met a lot of expats that go there like for 1 or 2 years like I did, and then they go back home, they prepare themselves, and then they go back. Some of them are still there. They've built houses in their home countries in Africa. They bought houses like in the West. It's a very good experience. I would say if you're not married, like Nanelle said, or you're single and you're young, that's definitely a really good experience. And if you want to be able to travel around the world at a very low cost, from Saudi, you can actually go to a lot of different places and it's relatively cheap. So yeah, I would say go for it, guys, go for it.
I'm sure that people who are contemplating, just based on the comments that they read under that video, it was just so like discouraging, the comments. So I'm so happy that you, having worked there, you have clarified all these things.
I mean, I know a lady that she's still there. She's single, but she's built in her home country. She's from Tanzania. She built like a doctor's and nursing accommodation, 40 blocks of flats.
Wow.
So she said to me when she leaves Saudi, she would never be poor. And I mean, if you're young, if you're focused, you can really achieve a lot and still have fun.
I love the way Muslims are disciplined. It's a good environment to raise your kids. They are going to be disciplined, especially if you have young young ones, once they get that foundation, when they get to the other parts of the world, like the US, it may be a bit difficult for them to get that influence, drinking, smoking, and all the other things. Even though you're not Muslim, you can actually also learn a bit for your Christian life as well. You see how these people are religiously praying 5 times a day. You will sort of like be forced to also pray, even not 5 times, maybe twice a day or once a day. At least there's also like a line. So I just wanted to know how strict they are, because sometimes if it's just too strict, it can be a bit, overpowering.
To be honest, when I was there, like I said, it changed massively. Like my work colleagues would go to Formula One racing, concerts. They would even take Grace, what are you doing? You need to come with us. But because I had my kids and sometimes I didn't have childcare, I couldn't go. They normally wear their black tunic called the abayas. You don't have to wear that anymore. Like some of the recent pictures I've seen with some of the colleagues I know there, I see them wearing like shorts, like shorts in the supermarket in Saudi that I normally go to. So it's really, really opened up. It's really, really changed. But again, just be on the side of caution and not go like OTT.
So the nurses there, do they wear the hijab?
No, the Muslim ones, if they want to. Saudi women are very beautiful, so a lot of them like to show off their features.
They have a lot of nice fabrics. Can't wait to go. Guys, I'm going to leave Grace's YouTube channel and her details in the description. If you want further details, you can contact her, reach out to her. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.